Okay, the next topic is join. Right, so we just finished discussing union of data sources. Right. Next is join, and join is probably the most often used type of combining data. So you'll have I don't how many of you have had your database class? You are in right now, okay. All right. So this is discussed in more detail in database, but this is an important topic. So you have usually when you normalize a database, your objective is to make sure that a particular data, one of the objectives is a particular data field doesn't get repeated in other tables. So you want a particular field, there will be a key field between tables, because that's how you connect the two tables. So there will be a redundancy of that, but then the rest of it will not be repeated. So for example, if you have customer database, so you'll have customer database with customer name and address and telephone number, blah blah blah, and then you have a transaction table. A transaction table where customer making purchases, a given customer may make many purchases, right? So a given customer makes a purchase on day 1 and then day 15 and day 35 or whatever. So you have lots of transactions, but you don't want to repeat the customer address, customer telephone number, customer whatever else in the transaction database, right? You want only the customer ID maybe, okay, or maybe last name. So you have one field in the transaction database, okay, let's call that customer ID, and then you have this customer database that also has customer ID, and then the rest of the biographical information about the customer. So when you're doing analysis here and you want to see state wise what is the sales, okay, but you don't have state information here. The state information is in the customer database, where you have the address, the city and the state and the zip code and everything. So you need to get the state information from this second file and put it into this, and then you'll have it. So now you can take the customer ID from the transaction file, transaction table, and match it up with the customer ID in the customer database. So once you match it up, then you will have that information, right? So this is the basic idea about join. So that's how you join, and then you have access to data in other tables, and then you will be able to do a much, the analysis and visualizations in a much more robust way. So there are 4 types of so there is what is called inner join, left join, right join, and outer join. Okay, and we are going to discuss that using this example. Okay, and we have data. Okay. All right. So here is a shell file that we will be using,